Can you help me welcome Tucker Anderson to the stage? So we...
The Lord's on fire, too.
Come on, that's right. So we wanted to invite... Tucker's been a friend of the Gathering Place for many years. And even though we don't have a speaker tonight, we wanted to invite a special guest. And tonight's special guest is this young man right here, who has been an inspiration to me personally and an inspiration to so many. We wanted you to be able to hear his story. He's a local guy. He went to Frederica and Glenn Academy. And got some love and some represent here. And something tragic happened his freshman year of college. And I don't want to tell you the story. We brought him here to tell you that story. So, Tucker, why don't you tell us tonight a little bit about your junior, senior in high school, and then your freshman year of college and what happened?
All right. Well, I had a nice Tahoe my junior year. I got my sophomore year, but a nice Tahoe with a lift, a bull bar, and everything. I was a very, very good athlete. I was actually, my senior year, I was on full academic golf scholarship, University of West Florida is where I went. And other golf scholarship offers and stuff. And then my September 7th of my freshman year, I went in the summer, and September 7th of my freshman year, I got in a bad car accident. But before that, around the high school, all I was doing was living for myself. Every decision I made was what would be the best for me, what would be the most fun for me. I was your average high school boy, lived for partying pretty much. And I didn't think about one thing about what the Lord would want. Everything was me, my friends, and my family would my parents get mad at me if they caught me. I mean, I wasn't in the right mindset. The Lord tried to tell me little signs, but I didn't fall for them. Took a big one to get my attention. You have the pictures?
Yeah, so he's
going to tile before. I was not buckled. Always worried seatbelt. My head was pinned between the seat and dash and the passenger side floorboard. I broke all 4 sections of my skull, fractured 4 vertebrae, broke my right eye socket, and ripped my left ear about off. I mean, it was like dangling there to stitch it back up, and you can't even tell anything ever happened now. That's the power right there.
Amen. So tell us more about your story in your freshman year and kind of leading up to the accident.
Well, my brother's engagement party was actually that next day after my accident, and that didn't happen because of the accident. But I was at 10 o'clock. I called my dad. Was in my dorm room, in my bed. My roommate saw me, and I went out with some friends before, and I guess I had a couple margaritas, but was back in bed and had to get up early to be at the airport. And I guess some friends called me, and they convinced me to go out. One of my good buddies at the time had my keys, wouldn't give them back to me, and I got my keys back, so all I'm going to say. And I hit an oak tree. I mean, I was drunk, wasn't wearing my seatbelt, and I hit an oak tree. And less than 1% of everyone with injuries to the same extent as mine survived. I flatlined twice on the way to the hospital. That's the one reason I'm alive. The first hour after a brain injury, they call it the miracle hour. And the first highway patrolman on the scene, as soon as he saw me, hit his knees praying for me. At the hospital, when everyone was supposed to be out of my room, my mom went to look at me through the window, look into my room, and one of the nurses came out of her room crying and stuff. Mom said, "What's wrong?" She said, I'm sorry. My mom was very concerned. She said, "I just had to go put my hands on him and pray for him, because I see so many people would die from these kind of injuries." And my mom just said, "Thank you." And the top brain surgeon in the Southeast was in Pensacola, where I randomly chose to go to school. And he'd never been to work early one time. My wreck happened about very early in the morning. He woke up early that morning, kept rolling over, could not get back to sleep. Went to work early, got there right as I did. They said if he'd have been there 15 minutes later, I might have been dead. As somebody's working.
Thanks for sharing that with us. Bring us to the moment after the accident, that tragic day, and you were in a coma for many days after this accident, and when you finally woke up, Tucker, bring us to that moment. What were you feeling? What was it like?
I mean, I believe with all my heart I went halfway to heaven, because that's the first song I remember hearing after the accident in the hospital, but mostly because the doctors warned my parents about brain injury patients, about their anger. When they can't do something, they can't walk or can't do something small, they'll lose it, and you just have to hold them and just tell them to breathe, because they can hurt themselves. And my mom said not one time did I ever get mad. She said whenever I couldn't do something, before I could even speak, I would just point up and look up at the sky. And then after I could speak, I would say, it's what God wants. I truly believe it. I don't remember it. I was medically in a coma for 3 months. It's 100% His grace and mercy is displayed right here, because I was no saint before. Like I said, I was a common high school kid. I don't think there's any saints in this room or on this earth, for that matter.
So along those lines, when we were talking earlier this week, I remember a line that you said that just is really stuck with me all week. Man, you've inspired me. And you said that so many people come up to you and say, man, Tucker, you've come so far. Can you tell that to our crowd tonight?
I tell every person that tells me how far I've come, and I said, I haven't done anything. I said, I've been brought. I haven't come far at all. I've been brought.
Amen. So now Tucker is using some of his story to help other people as well, and they started a foundation. If you want to check them out on social media and on their website, Tucker, why don't you tell them a little bit about your work on that?
Well, the foundation is TA for Life, and kind of Tucker Anderson for Life. But the reason we started up is we found out how expensive rehab and the surgeries and stuff are. So once insurance and Medicare and Medicaid quits paying for people who had brain injuries or illnesses, we kind of want to step in and help them out financially. We've helped out a couple people, and we've bought a machine for Shepherd Center too, to help out because that's where I was up in Atlanta and Shepherd Center for about 3 months. But we also have a Facebook page, TA for Life Foundation, TA the number 4 Life Foundation, and you can look it up, and you can look up more about my rehab story on ta4life.org.
That's awesome. Y'all be sure to check it out. And sometimes he posts just inspirational stuff about life and things the Lord's teaching him. It's really cool. Be sure to follow him. Last question for you, Tucker. You've got a room full of middle school and high school students. You're not that far along the road from where they are today. What's your message to this generation?
My message is to put the Lord first in your life. You can put your friends and family second, put random people third, and put yourself last. Live your life as a servant. Because I had life by its horns. I literally thought I was invincible. And the Lord made sure I knew I wasn't. And I thank Him every day. I could have had life. I could have been on the PGA Tour now, but I thank the Lord for having the accident happen, not saving me, for having it happen. Because I may have thought I was happy and having fun then, but the joy, I have down times now, but the joy when I'm happy, the joy I feel now outweighs it all. I have true peace. I have true joy. His joy. He's getting me peace.
Let's thank Tucker for joining us.